Caesar is getting released really soon, and a lot of players still don't know if they should go for Caesar, if they should stay for Burnice, or even completely skip 1.2, especially right now because they finally announced Yanagi and she's going to be another anomaly unit. Yeah, more anomaly units. Anomaly doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. So today I'm going to bring a little bit of a different video where I just want to share my thoughts and opinions on different things, and in this case it's going to be these two units that we're going to get in the 1.2 version. Now before we begin, I just want to say that I don't have access to the content creator server yet, so if you don't know how Caesar works, then I'm going to leave some links down in the description of other content creators that have access to the content creator server. So we don't have more information on Burnice, but on Caesar we do have a lot of information. And for Caesar, she's super solid and she's definitely insane. There's simply no other word to describe Caesar, because she's super flexible, she can offer a lot of DPS increase potential and also utility for your team. She offers utility and DPS increase in form of her shield, which is going to help you take a little more damage without a problem, feel more comfortable, especially casual players. The shield is also going to increase up to 1000 attack for your whole squad. So it's basically a Sokaku but for your whole squad. Another thing that Caesar is also going to offer for your team is the stun potential. She works as a stunner, but she's not going to replace stunners in this game. Another utility that Caesar also brings is grouping up enemies, and I think that the only other unit besides Caesar and Bang Bulls, of course, that brings this kind of utility is Nicole. So yeah, Caesar is definitely super solid, but now let's take a look on Burnice. And as I said, I can only work with the information that we have in the 1.2 preview, and what I see here is that she's definitely a super solid anomaly unit. She seems to get a lot of build up by using both flamethrowers, but most importantly here is her core skill. And her core skill is going to apply a debuff on the enemy. This debuff is going to deal fire damage, but also fire build up on the enemy. And this is really interesting because it means that Burnice is going to be able to keep building up fire anomaly on the enemy while she's out of the field. Let's say, for example, Piper. We have Piper, she uses her EX special. Burnice probably is going to rely a little bit on her EX special as well. After Piper uses her EX special, that's it, it's over. You don't have enough energy anymore, you need to rely on basic attacks, which are really bad. But Burnice, on the other hand, is going to offer you fire damage and fire anomaly build-up by using her core skill. And if you look closely here, you're going to see that her ultimate is also able to trigger quick assists. I don't know if this is only tied to her ultimate, maybe there is another way for you to trigger quick assist using Burnice, but one thing is for sure, that Burnice has access to quick assist mechanics. And this is super interesting because you can actually have two different units building up two different anomalies at the same time. And this can lead to some huge damage from disorders, for example. And I think that Burnice is going to bring exactly this. She's the first unit to have some kind of off-field build-up. This is really interesting. So I'm really excited for Burnice and I'm looking forward for her. But let's make a quick conclusion here about the pool value of those two units. So in the very first half, we're going to get Caesar with Anton and Piper. To make a quick review about the A-rank units, for me, Anton, I don't like his gameplay at all. I personally am not a huge fan. I like the character, but I don't like the gameplay, that's all. And for Piper, Piper is basically budget Jane in case you ended up skipping Jane. But let's focus a little bit on the S-rank unit, which is Caesar. So for Caesar, if you are a spender in the game, if you can spend and can go for Caesar, then I say go for Caesar. Caesar is super solid. I don't see any unit kind of replacing her anytime soon for how flexible she is. Because you can get her, and in the future you can probably even skip stunners, for example, because you can use Caesar instead of future stunners. She's not going to be the best in slot when compared to other pure stun units, but she definitely offers you a lot of potential. She can offer you a lot of stun, a lot of damage increase by using her attack buff, and this is super interesting for a lot of team compositions. So she's super flexible, and if you're looking to spend in this game, then I say go for Caesar without a doubt. Free to play or low spenders, there's a lot of things for you to consider before going for Caesar. But overall, I would say that Caesar is mostly a rerun character unless you don't want Burnice. Let me explain a little bit why I say this. We have Ellen, for example. If you own Ellen, I would say that Caesar is not the best option for you in this team. Lycan is going to be the best in slot stunner. You can find Lycan in a lot of different ways. You could lose a 50-50 and get Lycan. You could get Lycan on the standard banner, you could get Lycan on the selector as well. So there's a lot of ways for you to find Lycan. Next up, we have G1. Let's say you have G1 and is looking to add Caesar in your team. I don't think it's necessary. If you own Qingyi, then it's easily a no, but let's say you don't own Qingyi and don't know if you should go for Caesar or keep like MB and Nicol. G1 MB Nicol is the team that I still use up to today, and I can get like around 1 minute clear on shield defense. So for me personally, I wouldn't go for Caesar because what I'm going to cut here, like instead of 1 minute clear, I'm going to get like 40-second clears. Do I need this? If you are in the free-to-play scenario, if you can't spend your money, then I would say that Caesar is going to add little to nothing in this team. Just by using G1 with MB and Nicol is more than enough for you. So next up, we have Qingyi, which is a stunner. We're going to skip her, and then we have Jane. And for Jane, I also don't think that you should go for Caesar. That's because Seth is going to be the best in slots support for Jane, and adding Caesar in your team can be both good and bad at the same time. The third slot is like super flexible. People are usually going for Lucy, Rina, or Nicol in the third slot, and all of these options are like super solid for Jane without a problem. Caesar is going to give you way more that attack than Lucy and also gives stun potential. However, the problem here is that if you are low spender or free to play, then let's say you are running Whipping Gemini just like me. And Whipping Gemini has a problem that if you stun the enemy too fast, you're going to lack damage in your stun window. So stunning the enemy fast is not exactly something good for you. You should keep this in mind if you should go for Caesar or not, because depending on the weapon that you're using, depending on a lot of different factors, Caesar can actually hurt your Jane DPS. So most likely, I would say that Caesar is a skip for low spenders, unless you have enough resources. Let's say you decide to skip like all the 4 past banners and right now you have a lot of resources, then going for Caesar is completely fine for you. However, I don't think this is going to be the scenario for most players in this game. So yeah, you should probably wait until Caesar get a rerun. Now for Burnice banner is going to be completely insane. We're going to have both Lucy and Nicol in the A ranks. If Piper is like the budget Jane, as I said, then Lucy is going to be the budget Caesar. And I say this because Lucy is going to have your 600 attack for your whole squad. However, we're not going to get like stun potential on Lucy when compared to Caesar. And Nicol is really good unit, really solid. Both units kind of benefits for you to getting more copies, especially at Mindscape 6. Once you hit Mindscape 6, on both units, you're going to get a huge damage increase on pretty much anything composition. But now let's take a look on Burnice. And Burnice, as I said, we don't have enough information. However, she's going to bring something new for anomaly-based units and mechanics in general, which is like auto-field, fire damage, and build-up. More specifically, build-up. Like auto-field build-up is something super interesting. Having someone who can bring up build up even when outside of the field is something really new and can enable a lot of disorder focused team compositions. I don't know exactly about Yanagi. She's being announced as another anomaly unit, and I don't know if she's also going to be some sort of disorder focused unit or if she's going to be a more on-field unit like Jane. So depending on how Yanagi kit gets released, Burnice value can change a little bit as well. It's going to take some time before we get more information. So overall, for spenders, the main question here is, do you need another DPS? Do you like anomaly characters? Do you like Burnice? Then if the answer to this is yes, then you should definitely spend and go for Burnice, because for me, she's going to be adding something really unique to the game. And the same also works for free-to-play or low spenders. If you're looking for anomaly damage, if you like anomaly, or you are looking for disorder team compositions, then Burnice is a really solid choice for you. So yeah, these are my thoughts on the 1.2 characters that we're going to get. Let me know in the comments if you're going for Caesar, if you're going for Burnice, or if you're going to skip completely 1.2. Really curious to know how people are going for this patch. So yeah, that's it. As always, thanks for watching, have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in my next video.